Heartbeat tutorial. I'm Mike, in charge of growth and marketing. We have Misty Dorman, the manager of The Hearth, and our very special guest today, Liz Wilcox. If you guys are tuning in YouTube or LinkedIn, all the comments under this live stream through to us alongside everything from the live audience that is in the studio itself. Would love to hear where's everybody tuning in from. Drop a comment in the chat, just the city and state. Would love to hear where you guys are. Anywhere in North America, Europe, Australia. We have people all over using Heartbeat and learning about this. As those pour in, just want to let you guys know. So this is a live session. You can use the chat to feed questions to us and to Liz. As we are seeing here, we can put them up on the screen. This is so cool. Yes, it is. And what's up? Hey, Liz. Yeah, so we have folks from Wisconsin, Kansas City, Philadelphia, California. We got the UK in the house. We got Arizona, Canada, Ireland. We got an international audience. This is so good. Los Angeles. If you guys have questions, yeah, I know, right? They're pouring in. Thank you all for being here and being so engaged. That chat is how we keep the vibe going. If you have questions, drop them in there. I will record them and bubble them up when it's appropriate for the conversation and the lesson at hand. And then if you have deeper questions and Liz wants you and you are willing, you can hit the call-in button, which is right at the bottom of the studio link. Unfortunately, not on LinkedIn and YouTube, but it is in the studio link. And you could come on mic or on mic and camera and ask your question to us directly. But that's enough of the housekeeping. Let's get into this, guys. So we're here to learn a dozen ways to build your email list that do not require ads. And as a marketer who does a lot of ad-based growth, I'm here for learning. I am here for it. But let me put a little bit hype on Liz as if she needed an introduction. So the fresh princess of email marketing, Liz Wilcox, is an email strategist and keynote speaker showing small businesses how to do online relationships and make real money with emails. She's best known for selling a blog, turning a $9 offer into multiple six figures without ads, and helping you untangle the email knot with her simple framework, the email staircase. She loves the 90s, headbands, and the beach. I feel like I know you. I feel like we're friends now. Like there's like several intersection points that we have there, Liz. Thank you so much for being here. What is the most central thing that we can hope to take away from this session? What are you hoping folks to walk away with today?
I really want you to walk away with knowing how you want to grow your email list. Not just, there's a million and one ideas, but knowing like which idea is going to work for you, your personality, your capabilities, and your capacity. So I'm really excited.
Awesome. I am personally very excited for this. So I am myself a community builder, a customer of Heartbeat before I started working with the team. So I'm here to learn as much as I am to facilitate. So let me clear the stage. Let me get you up on there. This is for online entrepreneurs and creators trying to make a living online, community-based businesses. But honestly, these tips are going to be general for any type of offer that you're building out there in the world. So Liz, please take it away. School us in how we can grow our list without ads.
Okay, great. So I'm really good at email. I'm not so good at sharing my screen. So I'm gonna hit the share screen button and pray that things work. Okay, you guys can see
Ooh,
my
we nailed
screen.
it. It is good.
I nailed it. Yay. So let's put this in present mode, baby. And maybe y'all, Canva is not everybody loves Canva, but it's not my maybe. Oh, hang on. I'm not hitting the present button. That's it. Okay, can you guys see No, this is not right. Hold
No,
up,
we're
y'all.
seeing. There you go. Yeah. Try that
I'm
one more
doing my
time.
best. I
Hit the present full screen
took full
button,
screen. Yes,
and then
thanks.
that's the
Shout
one.
out, Mike. Welcome to
It's all
List
right.
Building. Welcome
We're
to
here.
List.
We're gonna build it in public. Let's do this.
Yes. Okay. So here's my agenda. I want to give you a quick pep talk and share my qualifications, like why should you listen to me? The three jobs you have to grow your email list, and I want to share with you the incentive and the promotion of your email list. Okay. The main objectives here are to learn the three jobs of list building. I want you to feel confident in knowing how to grow your list and grow your list with strategies that work for you. Me and Mike already talked about this, right? But here's a disclaimer. You are a creative human. Don't be afraid to deviate according to your gut, right? Like I don't know you, I don't know your business, I don't know your capacity, your capability, all those things we just talked about. So I'm just going to give you a lot of ideas And you're going to be the one to say, yep, that one works for me. Because what works for Misty isn't going to work for Mike, right? So I want you to use your gut here. First, I'm Liz Wilcox. Mike had an amazing intro for me, but what I really want you to know is I've built 4 email lists in lots of different industries. I worked in the RV industry. I currently own TexasSwagger.com. It's an e-commerce brand. I do email marketing. And what I want you to see is that my list grows every day. And that little segment in the bottom right, you can see the customers, right? Over or almost 6,000 customers. My email list is 13,000. I have almost 50% customers. So it's not just, growing my list to grow my list. Like I can convert these people, and that's what I want to teach you about today. Okay. Here's a quick story though. Y'all know Kevin Hart, right? Kevin Hart, he actually started his email list, and that is the catalyst to the Kevin Hart you know today and love, right? He wanted to be a comedian, and when he would go to his shows, he would put out note cards, and on those note cards, it say, did you like the show? You want to see me again? Put your name and your email address. The next time I'm in town, I'll hit you up. Right. And so that's what he did. But it was twofold. Not only could he hit up his current subscribers, he could take that list to sponsors, to venues, to managers, to agents, and say, hey, I already know Mike and Misty. They're paying customers. They've already seen me before. Like, you need to pay me a higher price if you want me to come back to Schenectady. Okay. And that, no joke, you can't make this up. This was in his autobiography. He said that is how he was able to get better stages and better wages. So, not only should you be growing your list to talk directly to your customers, but if you want to get sponsorship, brand deals, having that email list is really, really important. So quick, write this down. List building is essential to my business. These are just a couple mindset reshifts, okay? List building is essential to my business. Second one, list building is a money making activity. Can I get an amen? Amen. List building is a money making activity. And last, list building is not about getting to the highest number possible. Note that Kevin Hart had those note cards, but he said, if you liked the show, sign up. If I hated the show, am I going to sign up? No, I don't care to see him again. Like, and so I'm not going to sign up. So it's not about getting to the highest number possible. It's about getting to the right people, right? So here's a few do nots for you. Do not feel like you need to have multiple freebies or multiple incentives, multiple opt-ins to get those people. I don't want you to stress over paid ads, and I definitely don't want you to give up. That last one is a big mistake people make. It's like, oh, well, I tried it for 2 months. I only got 20 people. Do not give up. And I'll show you some proof and why you should never give up in a little bit. Here's what I do want you to do. Create a great incentive. We're going to talk about this. I want you to put the incentive and yourself out there. You are your number one hype man. If I don't hype myself, who will, right? Like before we hit record and went live, Mike said, oh, Liz, you got a little real estate at the bottom. You could put like your handle. What I put my website. Why? Because my website is designed to get you to sign up for my email list. If I knew that, if I had like a little, uh, you know, liz'semails.com and that went to my landing page, I would have put that, but I don't have that. So put it and yourself out there. And then I want you to realize that slow growth is still growth. Ugh, this one hurt me. It's still something that I have to, grapple with every day. I'm like, oh, well, if they did it in 3 years, I should be able to do it in two. It took me about 8. Realize slow growth is still growth. So let's talk about this incentive. Your first job is to incentivize people to join your list. And what I want you to do is remember your vision. What is it you want for your clients, your students, your members, whatever, your community, and then work backwards. I like to think of it if someone is walking across the stage from Liz Wilcox University, what degree am I handing them? Well, Liz Wilcox University, make money with email marketing, right? Then I take it back to the first day of class. What do I need for the first day of class? Well, I think you need a welcome sequence. Bada bing, bada boom. That's my freebie. That's my opt-in, my lead magnet, my incentive, right? And think about the format. If you work with, let's say, single moms that are trying to, get into a daily yoga practice, are you going to send them a 60-minute yoga session for your freebie? No, they're single moms. They're probably busy. Maybe instead you start with a 5-minute morning yoga routine, like a 3-day challenge. So think about your format. And remember, I said I'd give you a welcome sequence for my freebie? Yeah, I work with a lot of people like you, creators, online entrepreneurs, side hustlers, right? And so I know you're probably using Google. And so my welcome sequence comes in a Google Doc, so you can just make a copy. If it was a PDF, like that's not very helpful. You got to like copy it. How do you copy text from a PDF, right? Like I'm gonna have to Google that, right? So it just already comes in the Google Doc, so you can make a copy and edit it on your own. So remember that vision, right? They're walking across the stage of your university. What degree are you handing them? Then take it back to the first day of class. That's your lead magnet and make sure the format makes sense. Now, where are we placing this thing? The placement, pretty much I should have just put one bullet point everywhere, right? We need to place it on your landing page. Now, landing page is not a page on your website. It is just a dedicated page that says, hey, this is the incentive, the freebie, whatever, get it or not. So they can enter their email address or exit out. That's the only option. Then, of course, you do want to place it on your homepage. You can go to lizwilcox.com. You can see I've got it everywhere. Then you want to put it on your about page. A lot of people miss this. They think, oh, the about page, it's not about me, it's about my customer. But really, it's about getting your customer to sign up for your email list. That's what your about page is. Telling them, I know enough about you and what your next step is that you should sign up and get that next step. Okay. If you've got a blog, put it in your sidebar. If you have a blog, obviously put it amongst your blog posts, in your social bio, everywhere. Now let's talk about that landing page. I want you to have some standout copy. Now, copy stands out when it shares a little bit of personality, when it's direct language. I'm talking directly to my customer, and I'm going to show you an example of this in a second. And then thinking of it as simple is best. Ignore that fourth bullet. I don't know what that's doing there. I'm a little off today. So simple is best. Simple copy. Let's actually just look at this example real quick. And you can tell my slides are a little funny. My camera wasn't working right, so we're just working with this. But you can see it says you're building your email list. I'm talking directly to you, right? I'm not talking to somebody that's not building the email list. I mean, everyone that RSVP'd, showed up live, watching the replay, I'm talking directly to you, right? And that's very obvious. You're building your email list. Things are moving, but what the heck do you do with these people? Boom, boom, boom. Here's what you need. Now, remember, I said keep it simple. That's probably what, like 30 to 40 words, if that. It's hardly anything, right? But then I also said, share a little personality. Look at that ridiculous photo of me on that landing page. I'm pointing to Will Smith. The caption says, Will Smith will want you to have these. Obviously, that's a ridiculous claim. Will Smith doesn't know me, and he probably doesn't care about your email list, right? You got enough fish to fry, but it showcases a little personality, right? There's a reason why Heartbeat asked Liz Wilcox to come in and teach this today, right? I got a little different personality than some of the other email marketers. And for whatever reason, that resonates with you, with Heartbeat's audience, right? And so showcasing a little personality can really, really help you stand out. Putting a picture of yourself, a caption, something like that can really help. And notice that this is very simple. Y'all, this is the same landing page I set up in December 2019. That picture is so old, I'm wearing a wedding ring. Y'all, I've been divorced for a long time. Like that, but it's still me. If you do it right, you can set it and forget it. All right, let's move on. The job number two, promo. I already kind of alluded to this. You are the hype. I say it with love. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your freebie, your incentive until you do, right? And it's your job to get it out there. It's your job to say, hey, I have this awesome thing. And it's not this salesy, gross thing. It's really, truly the right next step for your people, right? Because you did all the things, you worked backwards, you thought about your vision. Really is what your people need, right? So you have to hype it. No one is going to love your business, care about your customers more than you. And so you've got to be the hype. And really, all this comes down to is brand awareness. Right. Maybe today you watch this video, you hang out with me for an hour, and you still don't sign up for my list. But then a couple weeks from now, you see me on Instagram. A few weeks from now, you see me in a summit. 6 months from now, you see me speaking on some stage. You are now aware of the Liz Wilcox brand, and hopefully, eventually, you'll say, yep, actually, I'm ready to grow my list. I'm going to get on Liz's, right? And then when it comes to promotion, you got to pick what fits your personality. It might not be in your personality to do a training like this. Y'all, my virtual camera isn't working. You see this slide? You see that square right there? That's where my face is supposed to be. It's not working right. You might have a heart attack if that happened to you. But to me, I'm kind of laissez-faire, go with the flow, type B personality. I know what I'm saying is good. Maybe the slides kind of suck, but you get the gist, right? That might not be in your personality to reach out to folks like Mike and Misty and say, hey, I want to come in. I want to speak to your people, right? It might be in your personality to be on Pinterest. You like visuals. Y'all, I cannot stand making pins. You see the way these slides look, like they're not perfect. I'm not a visual person, so I'm not working on Pinterest, right? So pick what works for your personality, and that's going to work for you. So now we're going to get into it. Mike promised you a dozen ideas. I think there's probably a lot more in this presentation. So screenshot it, take notes, whatever you want, watch the replay later. Um, I'm really excited. We're going to go starter to like advanced opportunities here. So starter activities to grow your list, just ask. Hey, Mike, I heard, you want to stop spending money on ads. You want to join my list? I'll teach you a dozen ideas, right? Just ask people. Cross promote with folks, right? I share yours, you share mine type of thing. Also, cross promoting your email list let's say I'm posting on Instagram. Oh, I'm in Atlanta. Oh, I did a training for the heartbeat. Oh, I'm giving away a dozen ideas. Can't see it? Like join here, right? So I'm promoting over on my Instagram, my Facebook, everywhere, right? Number three, network. You've got to network. You see those exclamation points? Those are there on purpose. Some of the slides have typos. That is not a typo. Okay. I really need you to network. The more people you know, the more your list is going to grow, the more it's going to be easy to do these things. Pinterest, I already mentioned, that's something you can kind of do on your own. You don't need to network a lot, etc. So you can start your Pinterest account. Your email signature, as people start to reach out to you, let's say Misty reached out to me, hey Liz, we want you in the heartbeat, whatever. If I had like PS sign up for my list and maybe she's starting a side hustle with a food blog. Oh yeah, I need to sign up for that for myself, right? So anytime somebody emails you, putting it in the PS. And then bundles. Now I say bundles are a starter activity because they're pretty simple. You can just find people that are hosting bundles and, submit a product or some kind of incentive to get into that bundle. So a bundle is, let's say Mike's putting together for a bundle. He invites Misty, Liz, Shahara, Alan, and Q, right? And we all put in paid products. We give them away for free for a limited time. Mike collects all those email addresses, and if you signed up for my freebie, my free thing, I get your email address as well. So this is a great starter activity in any industry. Now let's pick up some speed here. Link sharing. Okay, this is where Mike on his email list shares my welcome sequence freebie. On my email list, I share his thing, right? Y'all, this is so much fun. And this is where the networking comes in. If I never knew Mike, we can't do a link share, right? I've got to get to know people in my industry, even people that I think are competitors. Really, it's not about competition, it's about collaboration. When we link arms together, we appear bigger. What's that phrase? Right, rising tide floats all ships or something like that. I'm making, I just butchered that, but y'all get what I'm saying. Lifts all ships, whatever. Like you gotta link arms and work together. And so networking, you can see is that last bullet, again, those exclamation points. Networking, the more you know, the more your list will grow. So the link sharing is super, super fun. I did one. Y'all, I took all last summer off, but I scheduled in advance in Q2 a bunch of link shares. And so I had all these emails like, hey, here's Mike, here's Misty, here's Shahara. And they were doing the same while I was on vacation, y'all. I did not work for 90 days last summer. My email list grew by the thousands because I was doing those link shares. Now, guesting. Hello, what am I doing right now? I'm coming in as a guest and hopefully I'm going to pick up some subscribers, right? So, this is something that I've done a lot of. I have done over 300 podcast guests, trainings like this, Facebook Lives, Instagram Lives, things like that, where I'm coming in as the guest expert. That, again, this is my personality. I love hanging out, I love sharing stories about email. uh, it's one of my favorite things to talk about that Kevin Hart thing and to share a dozen ways and to teach email marketing. That's in my wheelhouse. So that's why I've done so many of these. Another thing is giveaways. Now, y'all, don't give away an iPad. Everybody wants an iPad. What does your particular person, if we're thinking about that vision, what do they need to get to that vision? What do they want to get to that vision? For me, maybe I'm giving away a 60-minute email audit where I go into your email service provider and, I tell you all the things you need to be cleaning up, right? That's very specific. If you don't quite have an email service provider yet, or you're just using Instagram and selling in the DMs, like you're not going to sign up for that, right? So I'm going to get the right people on my list. So doing a giveaway can get you a lot of leads, but remember, it's not about getting the highest number possible, it's about getting the right number of people, right? The right types of people. And so when you do a giveaway, make sure you're giving away something your ideal client is thirsty for. And then, of course, other media you can get, like Business Insider using Harrow, help a reporter out, things like that. And I got to mention networking again. This is always going to be an activity. So you already know it's going to be on the next slide. If I could get to the next slide, bigger ops. Oh, there's that word network again. You've got to continuously network. So bigger opportunities, and I mean bigger as in making you seen more in your business and your industry, but also allowing you to get a lot more leads at once are these. Number one, host your own event. I just hosted List Building Live. Surprise. That's like my theme of the year, getting people to grow their email list. So I just hosted List Building Live. It was a 3-day, like 20 speaker micro audio summit. Each little thing was only like 5, 10 minutes. Um, and I got 1,100 subscribers in like 7 days. Crazy, right? But hosting your own event can really, really help you grow very quickly with the right leads, right? If you weren't interested in an email list or email marketing, you would never have signed up for List Building Live, right? Like if you're like YouTube or die, you're not signing up for that, right? So it was very, very um targeted people. Y'all, I used to have a travel blog and I used to host my own events. I hosted a digital summit, and it was like the first year I got 1,000 leads. The second year was like 5,000. The third year, 10,000, right? It ended up being the largest. It was the first and the largest event. And I ended up selling that event as its own company. That's how big it was. So, you never know. Hosting your event is so, so good for list building and establishing authority at the same time and growing your bank account. It's 10 out of 10 recommend. You can also start an affiliate program. So if you've already got products, especially digital products or a physical product that sells really well, starting an affiliate product will grow your email list full of customers. So I have a $9 a month email marketing membership. And a few months in, I started an affiliate program. I said, hey, Mike, if you get Misty in, I'll give you 50%. I'll give you $4.50. No, it's not a lot, but you get two people, your membership's free, right? Y'all, I have over 1,000 affiliates after 4 years. Like 25 to 35% of my sales come from those affiliates. And my email list, when Mike gets Misty to join, she joins my email list as a customer. So this is going to make your email marketing super, super strong because again, you're not building a list to get to the highest number, you're getting the right people. And if Misty comes in as a customer, she's quite literally already sold, right? And she's going to tell her friends too. So starting an affiliate program that is a more advanced strategy, but it is a really good one at the right time. Speaking events like this, in-person speaking as well can really help you build that authority for when you do all these other things, but also when you're at an event and you're speaking, of course, everybody wants to join your email list, right? Attending events, even as not as a speaker, I've found this again to be a great way to network. If I meet Mike in person, maybe we've been talking online, but I meet him in person, suddenly we're off to the races. Suddenly we're doing link swaps, we're doing guest trainings in each other's programs, etc. Right? So that's a little more expensive. Of course, you have to spend, but you never know where those people are going to take you, where you're going to go together. I love, love, love attending events. Events that I attended as an RV travel blogger are still paying off today. I've got a guy named Chad I met. I was a travel blogger. He was an editor at a publishing company. Now he owns his own, like teaching people how to get book proposals done. I do email marketing. We do JV webinars twice a year. If we hadn't met at that event just randomly, we couldn't help each other at the time, but now we're both in different places and again we're off to the races, so to speak, together. So network, y'all. Have I mentioned networking? Misty, did you hear that from me? I think I've mentioned it a few times. Y'all, the more people you know, the more you're going to grow. All right, how do we make this easier on you? Optimize your ecosystem. That means look at that homepage, look at that landing page, your social media bios, etc. Make sure if I recommend you and they go to your website, it's all set up, or they go to your Instagram, it's all set up, right? You got it all, all roads lead to the email list. Vanity URLs. This is something I don't do because my ecosystem is so set up. But it is something I'm doing for YouTube. Like you can go to watchliz.com and it will take you to my YouTube channel and a little button will pop up that says subscribe, right? That's what I mean by vanity URL. My ecosystem is optimized though. When you go to lizwilcox.com, you can hit the hot pink button and that'll take you to my email list, right? So that's what I mean by optimize, or you can do the vanity URL. It's up to you. Also, practice talking about it. I mean, look at this damn slide. Oh, excuse my language. Look at this dang slide. It's terrible. It's got this box that don't make no sense, right? But I have so much practice, it's not bothering me. I've still mentioned my freebies several times. You already know it's a welcome sequence, right? I've shown you the landing page. I've been on podcasts where I can say, yeah, you can go directly to lizwilcox.com, top right hand corner, hot pink button. You can't miss it. I've practiced that even before I had the 300 shows under my belt. I would look in the mirror and I'd practice, practice. You can't fumble the ball on it. How many times have you listened to a podcast and somebody says, "Oh, Misty, where can we find you?" LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and then maybe you talk about the email list, right? No, you got to practice. You got to fine tune it, right? Nobody's going to go to all those places, but if you can get them on your email list, then you can use that email list to grow those other channels. And again, network. The more people you know, the more they're going to help you out. So the third job is just to keep it real with yourself. I know I've been talking fast. I gave a lot. Hopefully, you got screenshots and you're going to catch the replay later. But I just want you to relax. I want you to recognize that this is a long game and remember that the right people are out there. Let's look at this real quick. This is a screenshot from 2021, okay? And you can see here on the left-hand side, it's got a couple spikes, but it's mainly real low. Then something happens in July where somebody, and this was actually, it was just somebody sharing, it was networking. Someone was like, "Yeah, Liz, I like your stuff. I'll share it to my Facebook group." Boom, took off. Because it took off, she shared it again. And you can tell which day she shared it again. She shared it to her email list. Boom, took off. But look at the right side. Those little green bars never really go back down to how low it was. It stays up. So remember, this is a long-term game, and one day it's going to catch fire for you. Remember, I said don't give up. This is the part where I'm showing you proof. If I got 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, it's like, oh gosh, this is a grind. Then suddenly, boom, and the rest is history. And I want to show this slide because I want you to remember that, it's not just an email list full of email addresses. These are real people. And when you find the activity that suits you best, when you think about that vision you have, think about that incentive you need to create to get them to the vision. You're going to find the right people. People that when you attend events, you actually want to meet, you actually love, you respect, you know them, right? I know Christina, she's a PR lady. She loves podcast guesting. I know Pablo just sold his company and now he's working and getting stock in that company. I know Tanya lives in DC and travels to Houston to see her husband and she's trying to get her video business off the ground, right? I know all these people. And all these people found me through these channels, through me being not afraid to hype up my incentive, to put myself, my personality out there. They said, "Oh, yes, the girl with the headband, she's the one for me." And we get along really great. So remember, it's a long-term game. But when you meet these people that come onto your email list and have the same vision you have for themselves, ooh, it's so cool. So let's recap. Long-term strategy. Haven't mentioned that yet. When you have a great incentive, you can create a great email list. Don't forget to optimize your ecosystem so that if somebody wants to check you out, they're being offered to join with that incentive and get it out there in ways that feel good to you. So, what now? Screenshot this, y'all. This is the homework. This is what Mike said earlier when he asked me, what do you want for people? I want you to check out your incentive. Is it the right thing? It probably is, but just make sure. Hey, this is my vision for people. I'm taking it back to the first day of class. Yep, my incentive's good. Or nope, I need to tweak it or tweak the way I talk about it, right? Brush up that landing page. Make the copy simple. Put a little personality into it. Pick that visibility activity and go for it, right? Because that's all list building is. It's getting yourself out there. It's becoming visible. I know it's scary, but you can do it. I promise. Your community is waiting for you, and they really need you to get visible and get going. And then, of course, join my list for more ideas. Here's the QR code, baby. Or you can go directly to lizwilcox.com, hit the hot pink button in the top right hand corner. You can't miss it. You're going to get that welcome sequence I talked about so that when people join your list, you know what to say to them so they stick around and buy, right? You're also going to get 3 newsletter samples and 52 subject lines because I just love email and I want you to love it too. Thanks so much.
Absolutely amazing. All right. So,
Love
guys,
it.
we have plenty of time to get into your questions here while we have Liz. I'm very excited to do that. We did have folks who were dropping questions in the chat. I'd love to catch up on the 4
Yay.
folks we have in there. Of course, if you have additional questions coming to mind as you watch these answers, sometimes questions lead to other questions. Throw them in the chat and let us know this way, and we will document and get to as many as we can before we run out of time at the top of the hour. All right,
Awesome.
so let's dive in here. We have a question from Andrea. She says, I work for a language service provider, and I have sent emails to more than 8,000 people of different industries offering my services, but no answer. What am I doing wrong?
Well, I wonder where those 8,000 people came from, right? And if you're just sending them about your services or if you've done any sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Like nurturing, right? Like, do
Nurturing
these people
qualification.
know you, or did you just get them on your are those 8,000 people on your email list, or I guess they're the language server
Yeah.
service
Well, they're
providers
from they're
list, right?
from they're from Cognism,
Okay.
which I believe, if I'm educating myself correctly on this, um, Andrew, if you wanted to share more about that, Cognism, are you using that as just a cold outbound tool, as like a sales intelligence tool, if I remember right?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, it could be a way to acquire a list outside. Yes, okay. So Andrea did pop in.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being live in the chat, Andrea. It makes this so helpful. Yeah, so we're using tools like Cognism is one of the many cold outbound tools out there. What are your thoughts on that, Liz? Versus like list building via incentive and things like
Yeah, well,
that.
I think Andrea's learning that, cold outreach can be really hard and it's sort of an art to it. It's not, it's not something you shouldn't do, right? But it's hard to send, especially if you're sending in mass. Cold outreach in mass, I think, can be really difficult. And that's not something I'm an expert in. If I was ever doing cold outreach, I would usually do one-on-one cold outreach. If I wanted to pitch Misty for something, I would probably send a video and say, hey, Misty, I noticed this about your email, your last email. Here's how you could improve it. Or I watched your last launch. Here's where I would change the subject lines, the preview text, shorten the text here, lengthen it here. If you want to get on a call, I'd love to see how I could assist you with your next launch. And so I always did one-on-one outreach like that, versus the in mass. I think that can be really, really tricky. And if you're wanting to continue that, I would look for an expert in that field because I am not that person.
Okay, so that's the thing. There are many a strategy out there, guys. Different. You have to get the right expert to get the different advice for the different strategies that you're trying. All right, I'm gonna pull through here a little bit, just to catch up. Let's see. We have Joanna has a question. Wants to know if we can get the slides afterwards. Liz, I know you're so proud of the slides as they came up
Yeah,
today. So,
yeah, I'll give them to you, babe. Hang,
all right.
I'll give them to you, of course. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So let's see. Now we have Erica asking, what systems do you use to manage your email list? I think she's thinking like CRM, list building tools. What do you got in your tech stack?
Yeah, I use ConvertKit, or it's now called Kit.
Hmm.
I've used Kit forever, since 2016, I believe. So that's the only one that I'm heavily familiar with. I think it's just enough tool without being overwhelming, even for beginners. I'm not very tech savvy, and it feels like a platform that has grown with me. But I'm happy to. I have a blog post, and y'all forgive me. I'm like in an Airbnb, so I'm like moving stuff, but I can look up the blog post and share with you a few others that people, especially creators, use, but I prefer Kit. What do you guys use? Do you use a
Over here
CRM?
at Heartbeat, we use HubSpot. So we actually
Oh,
recently we
yeah,
recently built out
awesome.
the enterprise level tool of that. So We were originally started on MailerLite. Like we started like any other smaller venture on an affordable tool that got 80%
Yes.
of the features that we needed to get, the majority of the impact. But yeah, now we're on HubSpot, and it fully integrates with the platform. So it's helpful when you have a software product, right? Because now I can
Yes.
tailor our emails based on where people are in their journey on building a community. So like I'm not going to send how to set up Stripe when they've been making money for a year. Like that doesn't make
Amen.
sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, tailoring your messaging, very important. All right, Audrey, Adri, Audrey. If I'm saying that wrong, please let me know. What she asked, where did you post that? So I'm thinking this was a couple slides back. It was when you had I think it was in related to like where did you promote the incentive. So are you putting Audrey nailed it? Okay, thank you so much, Audrey. If you could add a quick little chat context here, was this related to where she was promoting? Where did she post like the sign up links? I just want to make sure that we answer the right question here. Yeah, where did you promote it? Okay, so I think you personally used all of the strategies you shared with us today, or what are your favorite ones? Let's just at least get
Yeah,
that.
I've promoted, I mean, y'all, I am shameless. I love my email list and I'd love for you to join it. So I promote just about everywhere. When I'm on Instagram, I'll promote in my stories. When I do guest trainings like this, I usually talk about the lead magnet throughout the presentation. I think you probably picked up on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I'm on a podcast, I make sure to do the same thing, and I make sure the topic is related to welcome sequences so that I can say, oh, well, if you're having a hard time conceptualizing this, don't worry, I've already written it for you. We can talk about that at the end or check the show notes, right? Um, and then when maybe she's talking about like when I created my own event. Where did I promote that? Of course, I ask people to promote for me. So if Mike and Missy are two of my speakers, I say, hey, how can I help you promote this so we can all grow together? And that's a really great way. I don't require promotion within my summits because I just think like I'm getting the free content and all the email addresses, but I do incentivize with, prizes, cash, just hey, if we all grow together, if we all show up for each other, right? So I do that. But really it's Audrey, is that how I pronounce it? It's about networking. It's if I am just spewing into a void, if I'm just, I create an Instagram account and I promote on stories, like Liz says, and I, do the DM many chat and all that, it's going to be a hard growth for me, right? I'm going to pray that algorithm serves me today. But if I can meet you, Audrey, I can meet Claire, I can meet Shahara, Joanna, Bruno, and we can all work together to promote each other's stuff, then we're off to the races. Then we're actually doing something. Then it's not just me promoting me, it's me promoting Bruno, Misty, Audrey, Bianca, and Bianca, Audrey, Misty in return are promoting me, and then we're all growing together. That's really what I want you to take away is like you've got to get to know people within your industry so you can grow together.
The mutual reciprocity of growth there when all parties rise together. I like that. Jason had a question in here from a little bit back. How often should you email your list without overwhelming them? What do you find consumption palatability to be?
Yeah, so I teach something called the email staircase, follower, friend, customer. You got some followers, get them on your list, turn them into friends, and then you can have a list full of customers. So when you have a list full of friends, you can pretty much email them really frequently. I emailed yesterday, or I emailed Monday, I emailed today, and I'm going to email tomorrow. That's not normally I just do once a week, but this week I got a lot to say and I'm doing a lot. So I want to let the people know. So don't think of it as overwhelming them, right? Because you're getting the right people on your list, because you have a vision for them, it is your job as the leader to get behind your people and move them towards that vision because it's a shared vision. It's not a vision that I don't want you to make money with email just because I know that's what you want and that's what I can get you. right? So I'm going to get behind you and I'm going to move you in that direction. And it just so happens I do that with email. I send emails to help you do that, right? And so when you think about it from that perspective, hey, Liz signed up for my list because she needs XYZ. I can give her XYZ and I have something to say about that right now. I'm going to send that email out. So, of course, you don't want to send two, three times a day, but I want you, what's that song? Luther Vandross, never too much, never too much, never too much. That's what I want you to think of the next time you're like, oh, I don't know if I should email, because the right people will stick around and the wrong people will unsubscribe. And that's actually a good thing. We pay for our email lists, right? I know Kit, if I reach a threshold, they're charging me, right? So I don't
Same
want
thing over on
people,
HubSpot. Everybody does it.
amen, right? Yeah, pay per. And so we don't want people that aren't, serious about that vision. So they'll hop off.
And I would just contextualize that further. Like I've been a career marketer, a variety of different roles, and but my very first job, very first one was a sales rep. And I remember the person who trained me said, the second best answer you can get is no. Then I was thinking about that all the time now when it comes to in marketing context, as far as like email subscribers. Yes is ideal. They subscribe. No, and as an unsubscribe, that's the second best answer. The worst thing you can have is somebody who camps and is never reading
Mm.
anything that you're doing. Maybe it's I
Right.
feel like it's helpful to have a tailored list. It's helpful to have a good strong audience.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad Mike shared that. Can I steal that? I'm
Please,
gonna,
please do.
okay. I love that so much because y'all, so I have a $9 membership. It to me, it's a no-brainer. I send you weekly email templates. And sometimes I'm like, what are they even doing on my list if they haven't bought this yet? Like, not, you haven't even tried it? Like,
Hmm.
what, are you serious or not? So I love that. Like, the second best answer is no, because that's so true. Fence sitters and a list full of them are going to be expensive.
Yeah, yeah, it certainly can be. Bianca asked a question here, I think that's interesting too. So thanks for this one, Bianca. She asked the number of fake emails that people give to get freebies nowadays, because everyone knows it's going to go into a sequence. All that is to say, what is generally a good open rate anymore and a
All right.
conversion rate of that open rate, knowing that people do like the iOS has that like smart hide your email thing and like all the other different I'm sure
Yeah.
Android does a similar thing. Everybody's got something like that now.
All right. Well, Bianca, first, before I answer your question, and I want to say this with love. You sound a little skeptical. Not everyone does. I've never done that. Some of us do have good inbox management and practice discernment and only sign up for the things we actually want to sign up for. So I always say don't assume you know everything about your customers and who's signing up. But yeah, of course, people sign up with fake emails or emails that go into a void. That's unavoidable. That's a thing of business, right? It's like if you owned a local shop, you can't stop people from coming in and walking immediately out, right?
You
So,
got to pay to have the lights on, right? There's like some fundamental
amen.
costs of doing business. And I will also contextualize. So like I'm a marketer, and so I collect people's freebies because I'm a nerd like that, and I want to be in people's email sequences just as like a research thing. So I'm bad. I recognize I'm the person throwing off people's metrics because I do sign up for things I have no
Yeah.
direct interest in. But
Yeah.
I'm more rare than I think the average, especially if you're reaching out in good plays, if you're promoting in good channels.
Right. And that's what I was going to say. Mike is the exception, not the
Yeah.
rule, right? But as far as a good open rate nowadays, y'all, please stop obsessing about these metrics. Whatever a good open rate is, whatever your open rate is right now, plus 1%. And just keep, if you've got 20%, how can we get to 21, 22, and get up to 50? I will say, if you do have an email list under 1,000 people and your open rate is not 50% right now, I really want you to take a look. And you got to look to see how many mics you have on your email list. You got to see who's not opening, right? Who is just filing them away for later, right? And what you got to do is unsubscribe people. It's called a cold scrub, right? And I want you to do that every 30 days. because the internet gods, Google, Yahoo, Microsoft, etc., they're taking this stuff very seriously more and more. And so you don't want to hit send to people who are not opening, right? And so
Yeah.
you want to make sure, and this is again a great way to increase that open rate without doing a lot of work, is, selecting those cold subscribers, and your email service provider is collecting them for you. They're categorizing. Hey, Mike and Misty, they haven't opened your emails in a while, right? Because they don't
Sorry.
want you, right? They don't want you to send to Mike and Misty because that hurts them too. And so they're categorizing them for you. And every 30 days, go in and unsubscribe those people. That's going to get your open rate up. That's going to help you not think so much about, oh, is this just a fake email, whatever, whatever. And then we talked about it. It was the very first job number one, incentivize. Make sure you have that good incentive. And also, I talked about in job number two, brand awareness, having a lot of brand awareness, right? Like you might sign up today, but you're like, Mike, you're just collecting freebies. Yep, I saw Liz. I want to check her out. You had the best of intentions, and then you never opened another email from me. Guess what? I'm going to unsubscribe you in 30 days. And then you might, see me again in 6 months. Oh, yeah, I'm going to sign up again. And then you actually read my emails because you're ready at that point. So making sure you cold scrub, making sure your incentive is really good, and you're finding the right people. That's going to help with your open rate more than anything else.
Do you recommend a
Excellent.
double opt-in, Liz?
Oh my gosh. Misty, I love this question. I do not. It is 2025. So a double opt-in, if you don't know, is when you sign up for my email list and I say, great, check your email. And then you go to your email and it says, confirm this subscription, right? And you have to hit that confirm button. We've all seen it. Y'all, it's 2025. I trust that you only signed up if you wanted to, right? So I don't have that turned on, except there are two countries in this world where it is the law that you must have double opt-in. But trust me, your email service provider, if you're in one of those countries, is turning on double opt-in, even if I have it turned off. And I did see a question somebody was asking about GDPR. Again,
Yeah, that was Claire.
your email service provider is doing that for you. They do not want you to break the law because that means they are breaking the law. Okay. So, in those countries where GDPR exists, they are showing things like I give consent. Yes, you can store my data, right? So, it's already turned on for you.
I have
Wonderful.
I will add about the double opt-in. I have like a stealthy double opt-in because the two freebies I offer that are not, I'm getting a lot of like spam emails added to my list for sure. Um, but I have like a stealthy one where it's like they're just getting a normal email that says like here's where you download the freebie you opted into, kind of a thing. When they click that, it double opts them in. If they never click it, they don't end up on my list. So that's kind of another way to do it where it's like if they didn't actually grab your freebie, they forgot they even signed up for your list. They're probably not gonna
You know, it's
open your
funny.
emails
Bianca shared a
anyway.
story very similar in the chat just now that she's got 10,000 had I have 10,000 emails on my list, but a small percent are actually customers. Most are fake emails to get the freebies and see pictures of the homes we have for sale. Haven't thought about unsubscribing them. So that's gratitude for the thought of cleaning the list. But yeah, I think part of the thing here then is the incentive truly valuable that you get authentic sign up is could be part of the equation too. If it's something that's transactional in nature, they give you the commodity of junk email potentially. It's reciprocity. It's an exchange of value. They'll give you the real thing if you're giving them a real thing. I think that comes
Yeah.
into play.
Yeah. I wonder, Bianca, what incentive you could offer to see if you could change that somehow.
It could be more than just seeing
So
listings. It
interesting.
could be like a guide on prepping your home for listing, right? Or like there could be things like that. Um, Okay, there's a question here from Bruno. I want to keep an eye. We got 3 minutes left. Bruno says, traffic. If you were starting from absolute zero, no audience, no channels, no nothing, where would you start? Paid, organic, lead magnet? Like what? If you were today, clean slate, what would you do, Liz?
Yeah, well, I would go on Facebook because that's where I hang out, like in my personal life. And I would say, hey, I'm starting this new thing. Here's what it's about. Would love to have you along. And anyone that likes, comments, whatever, I would message them and say, hey, join my email list over here. And I would get them on my email list. And then I would just start networking, get into Facebook groups or local events, or even, traveling to events, and try to find people like Mike, Misty, Deb, Tim, Bianca, and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm going, how can I help you? And then hopefully there's some, to use Mike's word, reciprocity in there somewhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you do early on that deliberately don't scale, right? Like
Hmm.
whoever liked the post, sending them a DM, inviting them to do a thing. You can't do that when you have 5,000 likes on a post in the future. But what you can do is when you have 5 likes on the post, you can do that now, and it's your competitive advantage now because the big players aren't doing that anymore. So
Right.
do the things that are, it's actually the things that don't scale are actually highly competitive for you when you're just getting started. So I hope that one helps you, Bruno. And then the last question here from Bianca, again, I'll surface up. Um, and this is a great pivot for the reminder for you to repitch stuff. So I am an AI coach that teaches digital relationship scaling. How do we apply to be part of your summit and or next bundle? Uh, so do you,
Love that.
yes, go ahead and tee the ball up for you there.
Yeah, so normally, in my events, I only feature customers, because I think that's really important to feature business to consumer businesses in my industry. But you can always email me, admin@lizwilcox.com, with your pitch. I'm always looking for networking opportunities. Say, hey, I met you at Heartbeat today, and maybe we can get something going. I love the audacity of the pitch in the chat. So you've caught my eye, baby.
There you go. And now, of course, Liz has the value that she's been sharing, including her email list. I would like to briefly share that we at Heartbeat have a thank you for you guys attending. Everybody who's still here watching this thing 1 minute slash, I don't know, 13 seconds from the end of the hour. If you have been on the fence and you have not started a Heartbeat community yet, but you think a community-based business might be part of your offer mix in the future, we want you to give you a chance to try it out. If you want to spin up a brand new free trial with us, you can get 30% off your first year if you choose an annual plan with us. This is a short time offer. We're just doing 2 days from today, so it'll expire at the end of this week, just before midnight on Friday. Go to heartbeat.chat/Liz, and you can get everything Heartbeat offers you, which is the ability to have discussions, courses, documents, and events, all the payments infrastructure that we have, including wait lists where your community offer can itself be a magnet to collect some email information, and even make it a paid offer if you wanted to have like a down payment towards your membership, if that was the way you were going to go. You don't have to. It can be free as well. So check it out, heartbeat.chat/Liz, to take advantage of this offer if you haven't yet started a community with Heartbeat. So other than that, Liz, any parting thoughts for the group that's here? I think we had a large number of folks here that kind of came and went, ebbed and flowed. What do we want to leave people with as the final parting thought?
Yeah, I want you to remember that I give you a lot to think about today as far as like how you're going to grow your list, but really think about what works for your personality, like your capability and capacity. Pick that and stick to it for 90 days, right? If it's like, I'm going to work on my networking, or I need to work on my Pinterest, or I'm going to try to get guest trainings, like work at it for 90 days. List building is a long-term strategy, but I know you can do it because it's going to have major benefits and payoffs later. Thanks so much.
Awesome. All right, everybody who's been here in the chat live, thank you guys so much for dropping your questions in. We are going to get the replay in the Hearth. We're going to get that out on our YouTube channel for the Heartbeat team. Thank you guys. Thank you all so much for being here, bringing your energy, your questions, and your learning. Liz, thank you for teaching what you had to share for us today. I'll see you guys backstage, and I'll see everybody else on the next tutorial. Thanks so much,
Hi,
guys.
guys.
Hi, friends.